fort, unfortunately yours is vacant. Forks up in my road, I don't know, but I hope they take me far away from this place. Man, I need a vacation, hallelujah. First they're going and they wish they knew you. Who the hell are you to tell me business, bitch? You ain't my lawyer, buying everything they selling. Oh well, that's consumers for you. Who's to say that freedom ain't free? I do enjoy it. Holding down the fort, hallelujah, hallelujah. 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 Let it take its course. What you let go of comes back. Oh yes, well of course. It's a cycle, I run laps. I'm a psycho though, fun fact. Stereotyping this white kid like I'm packing knives on my lunch bags. Bringing guns to the school dance. I'm tired of getting laughed at. Put my life into a blog post. All my feelings have been a hashtag. Suicide note on my last text. Tell my mom and my dad's next. Probably mad cause I'm 19, but I ain't 19. I ain't had sex yet. I digress cause that was a hypothetical. Love me describing a white millennial to an extreme and a stream of thought cause I write illegible. What's the price of living life in stereo? My scenario is that my mind's at peace, but my heart's gotta speak, so I ride these beats like a bicentennial. That don't really work, ignorance is bliss. I'm convinced pain don't really hurt if it's worth the risk. I've been pissed, thrown out in the dirt, ain't concerned a bit. Watch me hit the curb, I ain't scared, watch me skirt the whip. I don't want nothing unless I can get it myself. Myself. I don't want nothing unless I can get it myself. Myself. I don't want nothing unless I can get it myself. Myself. I don't want nothing unless I can get it myself. Yeah. What's a solid foundation to a force of nature? I've been holding down a fort, unfortunately yours is vacant. Forks up in my road, I don't know, but I hope they take me far away from this place. Man, I need a vacation, hallelujah. First they're going and they wish they knew you. Who the hell are you to tell me business, bitch? You ain't my lawyer, buying everything they selling. Oh well, that's consumers for you. Who's to say that freedom ain't free? I do enjoy it. Holding down the fort, hallelujah, hallelujah. Holding down the fort, hallelujah, hallelujah. Holding down the fort, hallelujah, hallelujah. Holding down the fort, hallelujah, hallelujah.
What's going on? What's going on? Welcome back to another live stream here. If you're new, my name is Zach. This is Real Deal Futures. I will be taking a look at ES here on the TopstepX platform. We'll take a look at a couple of my trades from this morning. Made some money in an XFA, albeit a pretty dang small amount, but we hit our $200 a day goal. You need a couple $200 days, 5 of them, before you can request a payout. So, let's go ahead and get the disclaimer up here real quick first. Make sure you guys know what's up. Let me throw this one up there for you. Trading's risky. Most traders lose money. I'm not a financial advisor. I can't provide financial advice or suggestions or advice of any kind. Nothing you see or hear me do here or anywhere else is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything. Make sure you read the full disclaimer here at the bottom of this video and on my site, realdealfutures.com. Again, trading's risky. Most traders lose money. If you trade, you're probably going to lose money. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just an idiot on YouTube. Nothing I say or do is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything. Now that we got that out of the way, let's take a look at a couple wins I took this morning on ES. This is the 100-tick chart. It's a little bit zoomed in. I'll run the 5-minute on the side, but first we'll get through this. Took a sell. Did not take the 15-minute opening range break to the upside. Why? We have 9:30 a.m. open right here. We are coming below session VWAP. We're breaking to the downside. I didn't jump right in for a buy as we started to push back up over here. In fact, I took it short. This was looking weak. We sold down around. This is coming off of yesterday's session low. The bottom of this is yesterday's session low. Came down close to that. I felt we had room to move lower. I captured that right here. Tight trade. This was, again, reduced risk. I'm zooming in a little bit. If I start to zoom in, I want to give myself more room as far as risk management goes. I want to be able to take more losses on the way to wins. So a nice over 2-to-1 trade. Again, low risk. So 3 micros. Took it to the downside, mainly based on momentum, volume coming into the market, but we're breaking 15-minute opening range low to the downside. I am not going to play this to the upside towards this stat. We're not breaking back up into this range. We're looking weak. Again, felt that we could at least come down and test this low. Held it towards the bottom. Worked out very nicely. Second trade was looking potentially to get long. I actually opened and closed a long position right here. I didn't like the risk structure. Again, I like to trade towards 15-minute opening range high. The stat that I talked at on Edgeful, over 70% of the time, this 15-minute opening range high and low is broken throughout the trading session. Once it breaks one side, I like to trade towards the other side. I like it to line up with market structure and price action, volume, the other tools that I'm using. We didn't really have that lining up, but I was okay getting long. My problem was I jumped right in here, and I didn't like the way that I would have to structure this risk. Again, if my thesis is that I'm trading to this break of 15-minute opening range high, that's fine. Even if I'm a little bit counter trend, I want to see if this plays out. This is a negative risk to reward, or what I call a negative risk to reward. Not over a 1. It's below a 1. I stand to lose more money than I make if I'm wrong. So I didn't like this one. Plus, I couldn't even get it below session low. I really like to be below session low on these if I'm going to trade after the break below, back up into the range. You could say, yeah, I'm going to trade towards overnight high. Maybe prior day session high. Prior day high. But that just wasn't the setup for me. So I actually jumped in, closed out for like $1. Glad I did. Not only could I not structure the risk, just was counter trend for the day. Really wasn't super confident in it. Again, on another day, I'm taking a loss on that one, but I got to be able to structure risk in a way where, I'm looking to make at least a 1-to-1. Started selling off, got down below this low, was looking at taking it short as we came down here, was kind of just asleep at the wheel. I really like the initial balance low being broken. I'm going to show you guys another Edgeful stat right now that helped me out with this trade here. Very, very simple one. Most of you guys are aware of it, maybe from back testing or just from hearing it spoken about in the futures market. Initial balance is the first 1 hour opening range. So the area that price is traded, the high and the low put in before 10:30 a.m. Here's 10:30, right? But where my marker is right now, if we look down on the bottom, 10:30 a.m. Eastern. We looked left, here's the low, here's the high. We come down and break that. The stat from Edgeful is we are more likely to only break out to one side of the initial balance. We're not likely to come all the way back up, kind of like we're doing now, and break the other side. Gives you some bias, gives you some direction to trade. Obviously, you got, your nice market structure and price action to the downside, but I'll take a look at that report with you guys in a minute. Took this short really right before the breakout. Again, similar style. We break the low, come up and retest it. Initial balance low, come up and retest it. We're coming down. This looked like it was on some pretty good volume, and you could see I was able to grab some of this. I honestly can't remember if my stop loss was here or here, but in any event, it was 3 micros again, picking up about that, 7 or so points. At very worst, we're looking at a 1-to-1 on this one. 2 winners, worked out nice. Again, sizing down. I think on this first one, I was really tight. Probably could have doubled that position size and had that be double the size of the winner. But all good. If I'm going to zoom in and, take a higher frequency of trades, I'm going to size down, give myself some more room to work. No rush in the 50K XFAs. There's no time limit. I'll build my buffer and then size up as I see fit, or just be dynamic with risk management. This week's been tough. Last week was tough. No reason to be jacking up leverage and size if you're not absolutely crushing it. So, talking about this trade right here. I'm going to get rid of this one. I need to journal these after I hop off. So I will do that. Hop in the free Discord if you want to get reviews on all my stuff from the morning that you guys are not trading live with me. I will show you it in Discord. The good, the bad, everything in between. So this is Edgeful. This is the initial balance breakout report. What this report here is showing is what percent of the time does ES break the initial balance, which is the opening range set from 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Eastern, to one side without breaking the other. Right here, over the last 6 months of data, you can see ES breaks only one side throughout the trading session, 64.89% of the time. You can break this down by weekday. You can break it down by the average extension, a whole lot more metrics. If you look at weekday, you'll see Friday, 80% of the time, there's a single break. If it breaks to the downside, it doesn't come back up and break to the upside. If it breaks to the upside, it's not likely that it comes back down to break to the downside. 80% of the time. Strong stat. The numbers don't lie on this stuff. You do with this as you see fit, but you get a lot of cool information on this report. You have obviously the report itself here. You can customize these. You can adjust for more amounts of data. You could look over the past year, 2 years, 3 years. You could look for different sessions, different instruments. Obviously, a ton of different reports that they have in here. You get you get a chart explanation, an example showing you exactly what this chart would look like, what this report is showing you. You get even further breakdowns, what the initial balance is, what is the breakout, how you could possibly use this. You get report breakdowns day over day with the ability to look at the price chart. It gives you an example of the current price chart, what it's going to show. If you click down here, you could see the price chart, showing, that example from that day. And then almost all of them have a really detailed YouTube video with their team explaining it. Awesome stuff from Edgeful, very helpful. I have a 7-day free trial link. I'm partnered with Edgeful. You can try this stuff out for free for 7 days. They also just added live data, a whole bunch of new cool stuff coming out from them. Clean, easy to use program. I think this stuff can be massively helpful. Again, here's the example of the trade right here. We came down, broke initial balance low. I'm looking short. Simple. I combine that with basic price action, market structure. Maybe you're going to use some VWAP lines, some other levels, and it can give you a bias. And at very least, it's going to give you the statistic that over the last 6 months, once ES breaks one side of the initial balance, it does not come back up and break the other side, or vice versa. So that is that. I will throw that link in the chat right now. If you guys want to check that out, feel free. Again, I'm partnered with them. I was testing this stuff out, found it very, very helpful. I think it's what a lot of guys are looking for in back testing themselves, and makes it real simple for you. Boom. Let's go ahead and get rid of this, see what we can find for some trades. I am going to go ahead and get a bear with me, guys. Let me get an account loaded up here. I'm going to throw this up for you. When you're ready, here's my site. You guys can check that out. Go ahead and get an account loaded up that I'm getting ready to trade. Sorry, guys. Hang with me for a second. Sure I'm in the right combine here. I'm gonna get one loaded up. Yeah, we're good to go with the one that we've been trading. A little bit of profit on this bad boy. Nice. Sweet. We are backloaded up in a 50K combine. Let me get my chart set back up. Can hide this again. We'll see what we got today. We were breaking to the downside. Still looking bearish overall in ES. Do some market analysis and see if we can't find something. I'm going to scroll out here, make sure these VWAP lines line back up. Sorry for making you guys dizzy. If you're not aware, TopstepX has this kind of weird thing where if you change between charts, instruments, time frames, you got to scroll way back out, let the VWAP lines load, and then come back in, and they're in the right spot. This is standard session VWAP, in the indicators tab. This is NY anchored VWAP that we were breaking above. So again, looking at this is the 100-tick chart. This is the 5-minute chart. Looking at ES, this is actually the MES chart. Micros broke to the downside. Set this IB low, pulled back up, Really found resistance at VWAP up here, found resistance in between session VWAP and NY session VWAP right here, tapping against overnight low, 15-minute opening range low, pushed back down and really cracked back up without coming into this next level of structure. This is looking left, coming off of that area of resistance, the highs from August, and now we are pushing back up into this range. So as I talked about in Discord, I'm going to look for some more zoomed in trades, see if I can't get some stuff on with you guys in the combines here, be able to talk about trades, show you how I'm structuring my trades, my entries, stops, management, all that fun stuff. Gun to my head right now, this is looking like it wants to push back up. We're making higher lows into this range, testing this area of resistance multiple times. That's pretty much what I'm looking at right now. Again, I'd be going against that stat with Edgeful. One of them would be not playing out. One of them would be playing out. 15-minute opening range and initial balance high up here. So I'm just going to see if we start to crack these highs. Looking at my favorite order flow tool, Bookmap. Not a whole lot going on here. We are during NY lunch, but I'm not a fan of trading the last couple minutes of Friday. I'd like to get it in early and hang with you guys, see if we can't get some trades on, or at least watch the market, see if anything is going to set up for us. But if you guys got questions, feel free to ask in the chat. Trading questions, welcome. More than happy to talk with you guys. Not too much on Bookmap. Bookmap, again, is an order flow software. Gives you a heat map displaying depth of market in this really nice, easy to read way. I'll be talking much more about that as I am looking at partnering with those guys. Been using it for a while. I find it immensely helpful. Really, really cool, intuitive software. Do you need that? Do you need anything else that I use? Maybe not. Maybe you're just going to go ahead with whatever tools you have, and that's going to be enough for you. I don't think there's one best of anything. It's only the best for you. Whatever your preference is, whatever you can read and interpret and understand best. That's going to be the best option for you. Yeah, so again, this would be somewhat counter trend. I do see us staying above this low of day, anchored VWAP, this kind of trend line. If I was a trend line guy, I see us breaking structure to the upside. If this was a trend line here, we haven't quite broken this low. This is kind of the next line in the sand, but here we are breaking above NY session VWAP, breaking above standard VWAP. This looks good for a long. Down here would have been a little bit tighter. Let's see if we get a little break and retest, or maybe we were just going to run. Maybe this is all we need before we turn back down. Make a case anyway. But for right now, I'm just kind of hanging out. I'm in a holding position. I'm looking long. Again, somewhat counter trend. But this would be more zoomed in, playing off of this trend that's developed here since we put this low in a little after 11 a.m. And see if we can't capture some of this move to the upside if we are going to drift higher for today. Right now, I'd like a little bit of a break of these highs right here and a retest back down in. And then maybe, some indication that we're not just going to blast lower. That would get me into a long. But we'll hang out. We'll see what we can find. See what the market gives us. What's up, Juan? What's up, Hussein? How we doing, guys? What's going on? Welcome back. Happy Friday to you. How'd you guys do today? How's the team making out? Don't trade on Fridays. I got you, man. Nothing wrong with that. If you identify that a day is no good for you, you're all red all the time, maybe you sit that one out. I don't sit. Yeah, man, a little buy from this would have been nice. Catching this pop up. I don't sit specific weekdays out. For me, it's right around holidays, major holidays. I'm just not a fan of the market. The market's not a fan of my approach right around major holidays. Yeah, so we started this break to the upside. Again, right down around here as we're getting ready to break out, making lower highs in, looking hot, looking long as we're getting ready to pop. Really counter trend. This is the nice confirmation. Breaking above this high, close above this high. This thing might just run. I'm not taking it from up here. I'd like to see some kind of pullback. That might not come, in which case I'm no trade. But the reading of price action is good today. We're in tune with the market. What's up, Master Herman? How we doing, man? What's going on? What's going on? You guys and your crazy internet names. What's up? If you're here for the first time, welcome. Again, my name's Zach. This is Real Deal Futures. Trading live on YouTube almost every day. I run a free trading community where you get my complete strategy, no gatekeeping. I answer whatever questions you want, strategy related, trading related here. Get my charts every morning with my markup, explain my levels, the tools that I'm using, the whole deal. Answer questions, news, let you know what's going on for financial news events for the day, and a whole lot more. Badass community of over 1,200 traders. Guys that are funded, taking payouts, guys that are blowing up XFAs and combines, and everything in between. But the real stuff, man. Not a whole bunch of Lambos and green P&Ls with no losses shown. None of that. That's not helpful. We want to look at a Lambo and a cool car. I think that's great. That's cool. Let's also see the stuff that is trading related and show us the red days, man. We want to see blood. No, but green P&Ls are fun. The wins are fun. We want to celebrate those. But I only think those are helpful when they come along with what losses you took to get there. Pulling back down, maybe. We'll see. First time, happy to catch you. Absolutely, man. Welcome in. Yeah, right now looking long on this, somewhat counter trend for the day, playing off of this drift higher, this kind of V-shaped recovery that we're seeing here. Maybe we can hop in, capture a little over 1-to-1. If we're wrong, would like to be wrong pretty quickly. I'd want to break and retest of this area right here. These highs that we found a lot of resistance, this overnight high, 15-minute opening range low, VWAP, NY session VWAP, this area. That's what I'm looking at. See if we can pull back down into here. I'm going to look long. After 5 straight green days, market beat the crap out of me yesterday. That sucks, dude. Sorry to hear that. It happens. 5 straight green days is awesome. If you're green these last couple weeks, man, I give you credit. This market has been tough. A lot of expansion, breaks of levels with no follow through, big moves in London and Asia instead of NYSE like we saw Wednesday into Thursday. Choppy, very tough. Very tough. Maybe maybe some guys are killing it. Most of what I see is a lot of red. And I've been back and forth myself on it. Only found 3 good setups this week. Very choppy. Yeah, I'd agree with you, man. Tough market to trade. I'll zoom out. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I can explain, what I'm referring to. Again, it's opinion. Maybe another guy says, no, this is exactly what I need. I trade ranges or I trade these, really tight trends intraday, and this has been perfect. So more power to you if that's you. Yeah, this looks like the drift higher. This would have been really aggressive. I'm not going to say I'm not going to say a missed trade. This would have been pretty aggressive down here as we're still below all this. But again, like I said, we would have been staying above, a low of day anchor VWAP, this kind of trend to the upside here. We are breaking. If I was a trend line guy, I'm not, but just to kind of display this for you guys. We're starting to break this line here, which we can make a different color so you can see it. Started to break this downtrend, right? All of these highs getting put in. These lower highs on the way down. We push back up. It's not a quick break and retest where we continue lower. Maybe it looked like we were going to do that right here. We failed. Now we're going higher. We consolidated a bit. We're just continually cracking higher. This is not looking like, hey, we're ready to continue lower. Just another nice break and retest, break and retest, break and retest. Why didn't we come down right here? Now we're just slowly drifting higher. Buyers are stepping in, bringing price up. So I'm okay looking for a buy at this point. We're not above, initial balance or even overnight, which I like for longs a whole lot better. But I could play this to the upside. Again, pretty low risk, allowing myself higher frequency of trades, take small stop outs on the way to small wins, but with a positive risk to reward. It's really what I'm looking for. Again, right now, I want to see a pullback. That's my game plan. I waited to not buy this breakout, so now I want, not paying attention. Now I want to see something where we're pulling back into this area, all of these highs. You can see it on the 5-minute chart as well, and then maybe a continuation. I'm getting long over here somewhere, showing on the way back up. Maybe not just buying as we're blasting lower, and give us a nice way to structure risk. Maybe stop loss way down here, maybe even just down here if we're buying on the way back up. Looking for a break to the upside. Again, I would be counter to the initial balance report. It would be one of those 2 out of 10 days. Be counter to that 80% trend, but that 80% stat. But we are looking like we're moving up here. So we'll see. We will see. So opening range. I trade with a 15-minute opening range and initial balance, which is 1 hour. Initial balance is typically the 1 hour opening range from 9:30 a.m. Eastern to 10:30 a.m. Eastern. And then you have a whole bunch of different opening ranges in there. You can look at 10-minute, 15-minute, 20, 30, 45, whatever number you like. That is what we're talking about here. Initial balance being the 1 hour opening range of NYSE session, and my 15-minute opening range high and low is exactly what it says, 15 minutes. Again, 15 is pretty tight. A lot of guys trade opening range breakout, the orb strategy. I'm counter to that with a 15-minute. I discussed that yesterday on the live using an edgeful report to display those stats. Oftentimes the 15-minute range, high and low, is broken. It's not often that both the initial balance high and low are broken. So you can utilize those to form some bias, to structure some trades, to give yourself some direction. Again, you can hone in on when they're broken. If you don't want to just have the entire trading day to say, I don't really care so much if it happens between after 1 p.m., for example. You can hone in. It'd be a less strong stat, but there are still numbers there that are definitely worth paying attention to. You can look on certain days of the week. Maybe you don't trade Fridays. You don't care about Friday being such a strong stat. You want to look at something specific. So thanks for the clarification. I'm a swing trader getting into day trading, and I'm not familiar with these phases. Yeah, man. Yeah, no pressure. Again, it's also like, depends if you're trading Forex versus futures. A lot of this stuff is, like you see a lot of the things and the terms used in different camps, right? Different markets. But again, I trade pretty simple. If you said you're new here, pretty basic. Discretionary, market structure, price action, volume and momentum, and some basic levels that I like to utilize, both objective and discretionary. Objective meaning the 15-minute opening range high and low is not up for debate. It's the same on your chart as it is on my chart. Same with initial balance, overnight high and low, prior day high and low. These are not my opinion. It's based on market-generated information, the data on everybody's chart, which is the same. And then discretionary would be down here. I'm saying, hey, I think this low from, yesterday's session is important to have on here. So I'm going to throw a zone there. I'm going to make it this thick because that's about how much I want it to be. And that's my opinion, to throw it on there like that. Same with this one down here. Highs and lows, areas of interest, that's what we can call them. Instead of support and resistance or supply and demand or order blocks. And, there's always somebody in some group that's going to yell at you and say, no, that's the wrong term. Along with that, I use order flow on the side here. Bookmap, I'll show you guys this. My favorite order flow tool. Won't do a whole explanation, but I'll just show you that I don't have anything screaming at me above or below price as far as a big level of liquidity, a big stack of orders on the book that I would want to be paying attention to. I use Bookmap pretty simply for the time being. Pretty dang zoomed out on it. I'm getting ready to hopefully partner with them. Going to be testing out the more advanced stuff, see if there's anything else that really speaks to me. But for right now, it's mainly the order book. I got some volume, cumulative volume delta stuff, volume profiles. I don't pay too much attention to. The volume bubbles are very helpful. Ability to read volume on Bookmap is very, very easy. But obviously, the way that it displays depth of market and this level 2 data, I find helpful. Gives me more areas of interest. But overall, keep it as simple as you possibly can. That's my saying. Trading is only as complicated as you make it. Keep it simple. Doesn't mean it's easy, but it doesn't have to be complicated. So kind of stalling out here a little bit. Really slow moving price action. Not a whole lot of volume, not a whole lot of momentum on this move to the upside. I'm going to hang out. See, again, if we get a pullback into this area, I'd be more comfortable. Give me a better way to structure risk to trade to the upside. Trade from down here wouldn't have been so bad. Long, anticipating a breakout. We're starting to break these highs. Lower highs coming in. Maybe you throw something like that on the board. And, you're already near a 1-to-1. Maybe you were tighter. You threw something like this. You didn't want to go below that, but I would have gone below here. So I'm not going to cherry pick. At very least, that's what it would have looked like. But we're not in yet. So now, maybe we look for that same trade after a pullback down and continuation. Maybe we're able to tighten up stop losses. Maybe we run it a little bit farther down if it breaks this low. But we're not getting that just yet. Just pushing. Slowly creeping higher on low volume. Let's see what ES has for us this afternoon. Man, gentleman in the chat says, I've been curious about Bookmap, but I'm trying to keep my data exposure simple. I don't want 50 indicators. 100%. I agree with that. Keep it as simple as possible. You don't want 50 indicators. I'm a big fan of near naked charts, although mine are a little bit messy at the moment with all these levels on them. We just happen to put a lot of them kind of overlapping today, so it is looking a little bit messy. If you want to see order flow and use order flow, it is something separate. It's not an indicator so much as it's just different data, but it is more data. So you need to make the conscious decision. Can I interpret and process this much, or now am I adding something? Do I have something that works already and I want to focus on that rather than just adding something else in for no good reason? Maybe that's the decision. You don't do that. Juan, do you trade in the morning? Yes, I trade every morning, brother. I trade NYSE morning. That's why I do these reviews in the morning where you get all my trades. Hop in the Discord. You'll see all those trades for the morning. But I trade every single NYSE session open in the morning. I do it with just my one-on-one clients. If you're not aware, I work with clients one-on-one for a real trade coaching 1-month program. Not a bunch of videos, not a magic strategy or any of that crap. Real coaching. But I do that live through Zoom with just a small group that I'm working with. And then I run one-on-one Zoom calls with those guys as well. But I trade every morning. It's my main session. hop on here in the afternoon, do it live with you guys on YouTube, answer questions, review all that stuff. Again, same approach, same strategy. I explain exactly how I'm trading it, what I'm looking for in the morning. I give you my charts ahead of time. I reserve that for my focus and focus of the guys that are working with me. And then I'm here almost every afternoon live on YouTube, seeing what we can't find towards the end of the day. Yeah, morning session's the hot session. Yeah, just watching this thing creep higher. This feels like this just kind of slow V-shaped recovery where it's not going to give me the pullback. Find a way in, structure risk accordingly, and that's it. That's what it's feeling like. Again, my entry from down here would have been pretty nice. This would have been playing out. I'm probably going to be hung out to dry if I wait for a pullback to this, but that's my idea right now. We break IB high. We continue up with some momentum. Maybe I look to jump in higher. Not confident with it just yet. Looks good. Again, longs down here, breaking above NY session anchored VWAP, and the session VWAP probably would have been the best move. I'm not getting long down here for no reason. This looks like a nice break and retest. I think guys were getting short on the way back down right here. I'm sure a lot of guys got stopped on shorts like that. But now as we're breaking higher, that would have been the, a buy from down here anticipating the break or buying the breakout would have been okay. This is just a nice area of resistance. Even this high here was retested a little bit. But these areas for a break and retest, that's what I'll be looking at. So we'll see. We shall see. A break, retest, and continuation. So I am waiting for more structure. You mostly trade ES. Do you trade other contracts? Which do you think has been the most successful? Yeah, I like ES. I get that question a lot. I like ES. I've traded a whole bunch of other stuff. NQ, very similar structure. Obviously highly correlated. US indice. Just faster moving. Much more volatile. I feel that ES is calmer. Some of this stuff is hard to quantify, so this is opinion. But I feel ES is calmer. I feel it trends more tightly. You can size down. You have more flexibility with risk. The volatility relative to the tick value. You have more flexibility on ES or MES over NQ or MNQ. NQ also seems to pull these really wicky back and forth BS moves that ES just doesn't seem to form. And I really like the way ES respects the levels that I work with. I'm sure there's plenty of good levels and things that you could utilize on NQ. I've found some really good stuff that works for me on ES, and I've started to train myself on the movement. I've been trading it exclusively for months, although I love to go back to NQ to get punished and get reminded of why I don't trade it every once in a while. But yeah, that's my preference. A lot of guys will like gold, crude oil, platinum, silver, whatever, corn, lean hog futures. Trade whatever you like, man. But my thought process, especially this year coming over from Forex into futures is narrow your watch list. You're probably not going to be as good as a guy that trades 1 if you're trading 5. You're just not going to train your eyes on it. You're not going to develop that intimate intuition, discretion, watching it day in, day out on the same platform, on the same time frames if you're trading, 10 different instruments. So I really like ES. Again, it's a US indice. It's plenty volatile. You can always size up. If you're coming over from Dow or NASDAQ, it can kind of feel like watching paint dry. It takes an adjustment, but I think way too many guys are trading NQ, and they have no business trading NQ. They're trying to scalp. It's so fast. They're getting absolutely destroyed. They're running tight stop losses, and NQ is just this big monster, and they would probably do okay just coming on over to the calmer ES. Slowing down, relaxing a little bit. But, NQ is good for that scalping. If you need that quick volatile movement, that's probably going to be better on NQ. But preference, man. I think at the end of the day, it comes down to preference. There's successful traders across so many different instruments. Find what works for you, what works for your approach. Really custom tailor your tools, your levels, and then more important than all that, again, is this kind of newer found belief that I hold. Trade one, lock into one. I used to trade a lot of different pairs in Forex. It was different because I was swing trading. But if you're going to watch the 1 minute, 5 minute chart, the 100 tick chart like this, I don't think you're not going to gain the same amount of experience watching it across, 3 or 5 different contracts. You're going to gain it watching one. So that's what's worked well for me. ES has worked the best for me. It was initially a move based on trying to size down with minis. TopstepX changed some stuff where you were able to trade the same amount of micros with this firm that I'm with. So technically I could go and trade NQ with micros and be flexible on risk, but I stayed after that, after I got comfortable on it. Get punished with NQ. Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, man. NQ is a monster. Absolute monster. I like NQ because it gives me quick 10 to 20 point scalps. Yeah, I feel you, man. I think most guys would be just fine sizing up and working on ES, which is much slower moving. You can structure your trades the same. You can take the same amount of risk. But there's definitely differences. There's nuances, and I think, again, NQ just seems, if you ask like a lot of guys why they trade NQ, and, if you ask me here why I'm on ES over some obscure, future, it's because you were taught on that, or you learned on that. You saw a lot of other people trading that, and that's what you stuck with. And I think a lot of guys go with NQ because that's just that's the main one. That's everybody's bread and butter, and they just, jump right to that, and that's it. Same way when you go to like the CFD world, the Forex world, you see a whole lot more guys trading US 30, the Dow, and you see almost nobody trading S&P. Nobody trades US 500. Almost no one in the CFD world. I think it's just a kind of what you're watching, what you're seeing, what you're hearing from other people, what they're talking about type of a thing. So I'd say probably experiment with other stuff. If you don't have something that's working, if you have something that's working, don't make any changes. Do your thing, NQ or whatever other, instrument it is, make your money. If it's not working, if you're struggling, you're finding some difficulty, maybe you look for something else. You test out something different. Slow creep to the upside. Buy down here would have paid. At this point, would have captured. Yeah, we were looking down here. Would have captured a 1-to-1 easily. If I was even tighter with stop losses right down here, would have been probably closer to that 2-to-1 level. But there's no coulda, woulda, shouldas in trading. That's it. Again, I feel this was pretty aggressive from down here. Could have chopped. Could have turned. This could have just been another fake out before we come lower. But not now. At this point, slow zombie grind. Not really giving me way in. Even if I want to be super duper aggressive, this is just, buying on the way up with overlapping 5-minute bars. None really trading below. No pullbacks. Approaching a level that I don't want to be buying right into. So I'm in the holding position here. A little bit earlier, jumping on the charts, probably would have got long on that, but you set your times to trade. You step away when you have to step away. That's it. You can't be here for every minute of the day. You can, but you probably won't be making good trading decisions at that point. Hindsight is always 20/20. Yeah. Hindsight capital. That's what the guys at TopStep call it. ES melting up with declining volume. Yeah. Yep. Mentioned that earlier. Pushing up on declining volume. Slow moves. Even if you look at like this bar right here, in comparison to this one right here, significantly less volume. So we're getting this slow zombie grind to the upside. Not a whole lot of liquidity around price that I'm looking at on Bookmap. Nothing crazy that I would see really generating a big move. No crazy news events coming up. It's 12:49. Although it is options expiration at the end of the day. Oh, we do have 2 p.m. FOMC member speaking, but it's not Powell. Not so worried about these guys. Member Harker. But yeah, guys, if you got trading questions, feel free, ask away in the chat. Happy to talk about strategy, talk about tools, talk about trading in general. If you want to learn more about me and my trading, hop in the free Discord. You could check out the interview, the podcast I did with Austin Silver on the Day Trading Show. Talk a whole bunch about my intro into trading, the good, the bad, where I'm at now, my trading, the whole deal, mindset. That will give you a whole nice insight into me. Otherwise, I'm here live on YouTube almost every day for free community. I work with traders one-on-one, paid for a coaching program, something that I don't see anybody else do in the industry. Nobody dedicating time one-on-one and group the way that I do. At least I'm aware of. Maybe other guys are doing it, but at least from what I'm aware, what I see. Outside of that, you catch me on Top Step TV. I'll be back on Tuesday of next week for Power Hour. Be dope. Trading back with the big dogs. Took a win this week on Monday. Got a quick call to hop on last minute. Caught the one move that played out there. That was fun. Finally got a win on Top Step TV with those guys. Trading with Dobie, Eddie, Hogue, and Andre. It's very fun. There we go. Coming all the way back up to tap. 15-minute opening range and IB high. Again, playing out a not very probable statistic for the initial balance. Playing out a decently strong one for 15-minute opening range, breaking to both sides. So I'm going to watch to see, do we turn back harshly at any point after cracking this high of session, or if we crack this high of session, because we haven't yet. To me, this just feels like the continued slow, low volume, low momentum zombie grind to the upside without letting Zach into a trade. Yeah, man. Review my coaching on my website. Absolutely. Book expecting a rug pull. Yeah. Check that, man. Check that out. On ES, I'm guessing. Or somewhere else. But to the other gentleman, yeah, man, feel free, book a call. If you're interested, you're ready to dedicate some serious time over the course of a month, go ahead and book a free call. We can talk about your trading, make sure, we both genuinely believe you can make some progress, and I can detail the program. But it's awesome. I wrapped up with one of the guys I was working with today. Awesome results. I'm gonna have guys back on. That's my game plan with the one-on-one as well. It's not on the website, but I'm gonna have some continuing. Maybe it's like once or twice a month. You get an option to hop back on with everybody else that I'm working with at that time. Just follow up with you, see how trading's going, work through anything else, kind of ongoing. But yeah, man, the guys that I've worked with so far have been awesome. Insane results. A lot of different varying stuff from small progress to getting funded and taking multiple payouts. It's been cool to see. Really, really cool. Or live and just ending up with really, really solid metrics. Watching to see if we break this. Man. Now we got some liquidity up around 72 coming on the book. Not an enormous amount, but we got some orders above. We keep creeping higher. We might start to pop if we get above here. V-shaped recovery for a Friday. And it feels like it wants to keep going. I'd love some kind of pullback, and then I would buy the break back above. This was not enough. Pulling back down here, I'm getting long right here with a stop loss just below. This didn't get me in. Don't have a clear invalidation point. That's the problem. You can say, The entry's there. The market's setting up based on all the levels. It's getting above these areas. Higher prices look like they're in store. Where do I place my risk? Where do I say if it comes back down, I want to be out? With this type of action, here I think is still okay. Here I think is still okay. This is still okay right now until we come back down, form some kind of a stronger low, and then continue. I say, okay, I don't want us to come back down below that low. We need to do that. I think we're headed lower, and now we got a shift of structure to the downside. So we sit and wait, hang out. I'll hang with you guys for a bit. It's my game plan. See what we can find. And again, you guys got trading questions, feel free. Ask away in the chat. Some really bad trading this morning on my part, trying to get the breakdown of the shorts. Blew up half my XFA. Man, every candle just 180 back in my face. Yeah, man. I feel you, Mike. That sucks, dude. It happens. Again, I caught a couple to the downside. Worked out nicely. I was reviewing that earlier today. Caught shorts down here and then down here again. Played out pretty nicely before we were coming back. Was it over here? Or was it back over? Oh, I'm sorry. Let's look at it together. There we go. Here and here. These are my two shorts from this morning. This one was really aggressive for me. Again, I was pretty damn close to this break of 15-minute opening range low. So this was pretty aggressive. This was round 2, less aggressive. Bookmap. Bookmap helped me out on this one as well, along with edgeful, break of the initial balance low to the downside. You can go back and back test this on a chart, but Bookmap helped me out with this one. We had liquidity levels below. That was the closeout, right down into that level of liquidity. And just so happened that that's about as far as we were going to move before we started pushing back up. Doesn't always play like that, but today it did. But yeah, man, it happens. If it's you rushing into the trade, that's up to you, brother. If it's time to be patient, slow down, really define an entry criteria, that's on you. And it's okay to say, hey, just bad trading. I was not waiting for my entries. I was just hopping in. Like right now, I'm like, oh, it's going in, so I'm going to place a buy right now and a quick stop loss. And, I just get the pullback. And then I try it again, and you get stopped. But sometimes it just happens. Sometimes you're trading well. On another day, just like I'm showing you, both those trades are losses. The market just doesn't want to work with you. So try to identify if it was actually you, or if the market just was not playing nice based on your entry model, your criteria. Still taking small trades to trade more. Yes, Juan. Talked about that in Discord. Zoomed in a little bit, size down as far as risk goes, looking to trade a higher frequency. Would like to get into trades here with you guys live. That's the part. Talked about that. Want to be able to display, create a track record, be able to discuss trade management and risk management through placing trades, but I got to have something. I have to have something. This was my only shot down here, and I didn't take that. So, here I am hanging out. But I got to have something to trade off of, even if I'm going to take higher frequency with lower risk. Oh, what's up, Top G? I don't think so, but I appreciate the offer. It just wouldn't drop in. Yeah, man, I feel you. Just wouldn't drop, and my entries were bottoms. I feel you, man. I feel you. It happens. It happens. Yeah, man. Again, if what you're doing is working on the other days and you have some consistency to apply, keep doing what you're doing. If you were out of pocket today, note that and try to figure out how you can prevent that from happening. Limiting yourself with multiple losses, consecutive losses, different ways you can go about doing that. But it sucks, dude. It's never fun to have a back-to-back losing day, especially on a Friday. Yeah, it was that. It's going, I'm scalping. Got you. Yeah, man. It happens. It happens. Do I use a set TP or a trailing stop loss? It depends. I'm pretty discretionary with my trade management. I'd say that's where I allow myself the most discretion. Depends on the trade. If it is one of these, morning setup trades where maybe I'm looking to trade back up into the range, and I'm anticipating a break of a certain level, or I'm trading right to a certain level, fixed take profit. Maybe I'm using Bookmap and I have a specific area to look at down here. I might throw a take profit on there. For the most part, I'm manually closing my trades or I'm scaling out. I don't have any take profit on there. When I initially structure my trades, I like to see at least a 1-to-1. I like to be starting with at least an initial take profit area, or where I would look to start scaling out, to be a 1-to-1. I'll close my trades at less to 1-to-1, based on data that's printing. But just like I hopped into this one here long and then closed it out very quickly because I said this just is not a good risk structure, I just don't want to start my trades like that. If I know at best, if it works out, goes in my direction, that I'm looking to close the all or some of the trade before a 1-to-1, I don't like to take those. But yeah, discretionary with trade management. I will move stop loss to break even when I see fit. Usually later than most guys do. I'm okay with letting winners turn into losers if the trade calls for it. So that, hopefully that answers some of the question. Reacting off of this area here, again, I don't know that I'm going to get one, guys. Would like to trade with you here, but this just is slow, choppy. Yes, we got to pull back. Not even to these highs over here. Not even cracking down here. Just a little bit. You buy on the first pullback back up into this range, maybe. I'm probably just going to sit patient on this one, honestly. I don't love it. Thanks, brother. I will try to save this account and have to see if I can't make $20 on small position long on that pullback. I got you, man. Nice. Very nice. Yeah, man. Mike, just size down. If you want to save the account, just go ahead and size down. Trade small. It's annoying and painful to do. But you're in an XFA, there's no rush, there's no time limit. Just trade small. Try to dig yourself out of that hole. It will take longer. But the other option of just YOLOing it on 1 or 2 trades and getting back to break even that way, it almost never plays. They're almost never the winners. You're not in the right headspace to do it, and the market can almost feel like it knows what you're doing, and it's going to tell you no, that's not the right way to do this. So dig yourself out, man. Slow and steady. That's part of the game, man. It's part of the game. And then again, put your risk parameters in place for the future. How much do you want to allow yourself to lose per day? Do you have a personal daily loss limit? Do you have a consecutive loss limit? If you take 3 losses, how many times are you coming back to start winning after those? Maybe if you're scalping, taking a high frequency, it's pretty good for most guys. 3 in a row, probably want to call it a day right there. And understand your average risk to reward. Starting to turn back here. Understand your average risk to reward and average win rate if it's not fixed, and understand what the risk per trade means with your frequency of trades and those metrics for your account. Maybe work on a free trading equity simulator like I talk about. You can Google that. Allows you to put in risk to reward, win rate, and a risk per trade, along with an account balance, and can give you a whole bunch of simulated metrics. I think they call it a Monte Carlo simulator as well. Yeah, again, guys, I don't have it on this one. Not just nothing really setting up. What Juan said, I'm trying to zoom in. This would have been it from down here as we're breaking this level. Give me somewhat of a target, catch this initial pop, and then try to hang on. Stop loss to break even. Was waiting on some kind of pullback, just something reasonable to continue. Slow zombie grind. I don't have an entry. Resistance at this area. I'm not looking to buy into it. Still looks nice and bullish here. We're following every trend line, and if we had an anchored VWAP off the bottom, this still looks good. Just not for me. Again, I'd be waiting for a continuation up, buying, and then stop loss down below. That's more my style. Waller's waiting up. Boost equities today. Gotcha, man. Yeah, we got some FOMC boys talking. We got some Fed members speaking. We got left for the rest of the day. Oil rig count. Yeah. That looks like it. And then we got another Harker at 2 o'clock. Mike says, 100% agree. I was only using between 1 and 5 micros, but the scaling in was happening directly at the bounce. Bad read. Yeah, if I make $20 a day from here on out, I'll be happy. I got you, man. Yeah, again, sometimes that just happens. You're out of the pocket, right? If you're using some discretion and intuition in your trading, which I am and most guys are, some days, for whatever reason, whether it's the market just doing something different or whether it's you, how you're reading the market that day, how you're feeling, you're just not in tune. You're not, you're getting bad reads or the market's just not playing nice with you. You don't have to dig too far into that, but recognize if it starts to go left quickly, are you better off to continue trading? Most guys aren't. Most guys are better to cut it. And it's hard to do. Just commented on Twitter. Somebody posted, sucks to be down $600 for the day. Cut it. And I commented, always sucks to end it red. It always sucks to walk away with a loss. What sucks worse is continuing to trade and take more losses and make it worse. And they replied, rather end the day with a paper cut than bleeding out. And that's the truth. It's hard to do, especially on a Friday, right? You want to end nice and green, finish the week off strong. You keep going with it, it oftentimes just gets worse. So I would review data and your journal on that and say, what does my day look like if I start with 3 losses? Is the 4th one a win, or is it 80 or 90% of the time a loss? Some guys are pretty good comeback traders. Others are not. And I think most are not. As you start to take losses, again, it can be an indication that you're not reading the market well. You're out of the pocket. All these things that we talk about. It can also mean, your psychology's off, your mindset's off, you're shaken. Maybe the confidence is not there. Maybe it's overconfidence and revenge trading and tilt starts to creep in, emotions. At the end of the day, you're only going to get worse with decision making throughout the day. That's just kind of the basic science behind it. You can get warmed up, but as the day wears on and you take more losses, it typically gets harder. So, I'd review some of that, man. And yeah, there we go. I broke all those rules today. $200 my daily loss, but I moved it because I saw the market going. Mike, you had a tough day today, Mike. You had a tough day. I got you, brother. I got you. I've been there more times than I can count. I think most guys here have. It happens, dude. Just just take a beat and journal it, review, step away for the weekend and come back fresh and, just put some processes in place, but note that stuff, remember you write out. I know it does not go well for me when I move my, daily loss limit. I know that is not good trading. That does not help me. So it happens, man. You're in an XFA, which it makes it tough, but you'll bounce back from it. It's just part of the journey, man. And remember, the market doesn't care about your P&L, day to day or intraday. And you really have to try to separate yourself from that. Look at the big picture as best you can. But that's that fear of missing out. Market's starting to move. You take a couple losses. Unfortunately, you used your ammunition early. You got to say, I'm done. Whether the market runs another 300 points and has this huge move, I'm not going to be in it. That's it. You sit there and watch it and you start moving daily loss limits and trading more and more and more, trying to catch it, trying to get back. It's a tough day, man. The dust settles and you go, what the hell, So put some processes in place, maybe the lockout limit if you're trading with TopstepX, manual lock yourself out, slam your laptop, get outside, unplug everything, that type of deal. Again, just watching the market. Watching us start to turn here. This is feeling like a turn rather than a pullback. We had a nice little pullback here, failed to go higher. pulled back lower. Again, this is really zoomed in on the 100-tick chart, so we can grain of salt this, but you can see it on the 5-minute. This looked like we were going to continue up right there. Decent momentum trying to come higher, but we are indeed coming lower. We come lower here. This is looking like we're turning back down, and we're just going to find resistance right at 15-minute and IB high. So really just setting up worse and worse structure. So we'll hang out. We'll watch. Again, I like to trade into the afternoon on a Friday. Not too late, but I'll give it a little bit longer. We'll see if we can find something. And we got good conversation. If you guys have trading questions, feel free. Feel free to ask. Looking like a change of character. Yeah. Again, this is very zoomed in. You know, it's a 100-tick chart. But even the 5-minute over here, the 1 minute, 1 minute looks pretty dang similar right now. But yeah, it's looking like maybe we're going to blast off here. We just need to consolidate, come back down. But we're starting to break this nice trend, right? We're starting to break this really nice, tight, steep trend to the upside with this kind of slow, choppy pullback. But we'll see. See what the market's got for us. That's all we could do is hang out and watch. React to data as it prints. Are you trading TW volatility later, Zach? I don't know what that means. What is TW volatility? Apologize. I'm not trading options expiration at the end of the day and the type of volatility that can cause. Triple witching. Yeah, that makes sense. Gotcha. Yeah, no, I'm not trading that. I think it'll be probably pretty gnarly. But I'm not gonna trade all that nonsense expiring at the end of the day. No, too wild for me. Yeah. Told myself 4 times. Yeah, Mike, I feel you, brother. It's tilt, man. That's tilt. That's what that is. Partial excuse on my end is that I was trading differently in the combines. That scaling in and scaling out was way more profitable. I'm almost confused when to take profit now. I got you. You can trade the same just with a less, size, in micros, maybe. Thanks for letting me boohoo on here. No, all good, dude. On to me to fix it. 100%, brother. That's part of it. Usually your friends and family aren't going to know what you're talking about, when you talk about this stuff. So if I could be here to talk about that, good. And I think it's a good conversation. A lot of guys deal with the same stuff. So props to you for talking about it, being honest. Everybody loves to just talk about the wins and say, I made $10,000 today. Nobody likes to say I scalped myself into the ground and broke all my rules and, moved my daily loss limit and then continue to dig myself a hole. But it happens. It's better to articulate it, talk about it, maybe try to dig into why it happened and figure out how to prevent it from happening. That's where the real change comes. So I'm watching this try to push back up. But again, I don't have a buy from down here. Just not confident in this structure. Futures are the GOAT. I agree. Yeah, man. 5-minute and 500-tick chart. Awesome, dude. Yeah. I think that's sweet. This is kind of the Dakota from TopStep setup. 100-tick, 5-minute, 100-tick, 1 minute. I played with the 100-tick before I came even to trading with TopStep. It wasn't on TradingView, so I was interested in it. Always wanted to be able to use it. TopstepX gave me that opportunity. So it's a pretty sweet deal. I enjoy it. Again, preference. I don't think anything is, one end all be all. You want to trade the 5-minute instead of the 1 minute or the 3-minute, whatever. No problem. People make a strong case for certain, time frames. I think it'd be helpful to zoom out on a higher time frame, maybe get some higher time frame structure, understand where you are in the larger market structure cycle on whatever instrument you're trading. And then when you zoom into your trading time frame, it's going to be about you, your approach, your entries, your ability to process information, how fast the instrument itself is moving, and try some different stuff, and you'll probably find something that you like. But back in the day, years ago, I can't tell you how many times I Googled what's the best trading time frame for XYZ. Wasting time. Agree. Going to trade combines for a bit on Monday. I have a few left. Yeah, man. 100%. I would hop into combines, man. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Trading combines, taking a step back, lower risk, getting more confident. I would go ahead and do that. Most guys that are going to be like, career prop firm guys, they're going to constantly be trading combines. They want to have max XFAs and combines on backup, like I do. You want to keep trading combines, keep passing them, and have them on backup if and when you do lose an XFA. That would be ideal situation, right? So there's nothing wrong with trading them. It's also great for times when the market is just going crazy, kind of like what we've seen this past week. Maybe it's switch day during rollover and FOMC, and you're like, I'm not going to put XFA on the line. I'm going to trade in a combine. If I have to take losses, I'd rather do it with $50 on the line rather than however much it took me to get into an XFA and whatever money I have in that account. So in general, how do you determine support and resistance levels? Pretty basic, my man. I'll zoom out, give you my chart, at least this chart, higher time frame, just tops and bottoms, areas of interest that have been tested multiple times. I traditionally like to look for them, obviously, above and below price. So I'm not going to go too far above and too far below. If I start, and I also use my market generated levels first. So like right here, we got all these lows. This level that I have down here is fine. For support and resistance, I'm coming off of areas like this, areas that have been tested multiple times as support. I like to see lows with a big reaction, impulsive move. That's kind of the general piece. Sometimes I'll zoom really far out like I did on this one. I wanted to catch something in between here and here, right? Because this is the next lows looking left. This is not as strong of a level because I'm looking through price action right here. At least this is my reading of it and the way that I see it play out after I mark them. But I'll look left. I do see it was tested, here kind of on the way up as resistance a little bit, pulled back down, chopped around before blasting off through. And you could see it was tested a few times here on the 4 hour, with highs and lows coming through. But yeah, just tops and bottoms, areas of interest. That's the way that I look at it. Stuff that's been tested multiple times, above and below price. This is quite a bit of them. So probably don't need all these on here. If price was coming this far down, I'd be remarking this chart up. But yeah, that's the basics of it. Again, I think if you have to look through price to get to a level, I don't really like that. I like stuff that is the next low or a high when you start looking left. That's a pretty interesting area to pay attention to. There's a million different ways to do this. You can, you could find 100 different people tell you 100 different ways. This is discretionary. This is my opinion. If you cleared this chart and asked me to mark it again, they'd probably be in similar areas, but they wouldn't be exactly the same. I don't find, and I use them as zones. I don't use them as exact lines. I don't find having this level here instead of here make all that much difference for the way that I'm structuring my trades and the way that I'm using them. I used to spend an enormous amount of time identifying a specific way to do this. You go to the 30-minute, and then you look for a basing candle, the last candle before the impulsive move up, and I would draw my zone exactly off the top and the bottom of that candle. If it's helpful for you to have a lot of consistency to do that, to do certain things like that, absolutely go for it. And maybe that's important when you are a beginner. For me, it really just never added any edge. It didn't help me. Again, I'm not using them so exact. It's a zone. I like them nice and clear and wide. But that's pretty much it. Do you strictly use the 4 hour chart to determine the levels? No, man, no. What's going to help you, brother? Hop in the free Discord. I post these. I post my charts every day, and in the morning, and you can see the charts that I post with my levels. I typically will. I obviously set my objective levels every morning because they change every morning. The levels that I'm marking up, discretionary, the zone, support and resistance. A lot of them stay the same because price just hasn't moved there. But I zoom out to like the 1 hour, the 30-minute. Again, you can see the way that I'm doing it, fairly discretionary. 1 hour, 30-minute, 4 hour, zoomed out pretty dang far, I can get the levels that I need to get. I can look left and find structure that I want to utilize in my trading for the day. That's the thought process. Is there a Real Deal Futures house account? No, there's no Real Deal Futures house account. But maybe we start a Real Deal house account combine. Maybe we do something like that. If you guys don't know, Top Step trades a house account. They put real money behind their traders. They take info from the chat. Maybe I start a combine, and I've done that a couple times. I've taken micro trades. I put a chat poll, and I don't take it into consideration. Maybe we do one of those. It'd be pretty fun. Looks like we want to break here. Nothing crazy on Bookmap, man. Yeah, slow zombie grind to the upside. You could go long here, kind of like what we were watching here, right? After a pullback. Lower highs getting put in. Anticipating a break of this level that we've come back up to test multiple times now. Over here we tested it. Now we've cracked above it a little bit. We want to crack above higher, maybe. Stop loss down below here. You say if we have to come all the way back down, I think we're more likely to continue lower. I'm wrong. Maybe I look short. Just too slow and no momentum and no volume for me. I don't think anything that I take would play out really quickly unless I was wrong. So I'm probably just going to hang on this one today, guys. Again, want to get more trades in here with you guys, but I don't want to hop on here to take random losing trades. I don't think that's helpful. I don't think you would like that very much. So even zoomed in, if I can't find something, I'll hang out. I'll explain what I'm looking at and why. That's it. But if you guys got any last minute questions, feel free to ask away. Hop in the free Discord. Catch me on Top Step TV. Check out the link to Edgeful for a 7-day free trial, talking about the stats that I use in my trading. I should have some stuff on Bookmap pretty soon. And that's pretty much the housekeeping that I have, man. If you're interested in working with somebody one-on-one in a real trader and coach program in a way that is not a bunch of videos or a signals group or any BS where you're supposed to copy what I'm doing, feel free to hit me up, man. We can talk about that. What's for dinner? I don't know, man. That's a good question. That's a good question. I have to think about that. Got to go on a long run first. Thanks for the feedback. See you next week. Guys, I will see you next week. Have an awesome weekend on that note. Relax, touch some grass, hang out with your family. I try to tell this for everybody. If you don't have any family, hang out with your friends. You don't have friends, maybe animals. You don't have anybody. Go outside, just be with nature, be with yourself, relax. If you're in a tough spot, man, do what you can to stay in the present moment and work yourself out of it. Talk to you guys soon. Hop in the free Discord. Interesting past couple weeks with trading. We'll see what next week has for us. We'll check the news out together. We'll try to navigate these markets coming into the end of September. I will talk to you guys soon. Yeah, thanks for hopping on, guys. I'll see you in Discord. Talk to you guys soon. Have an awesome weekend.